Fred Thompson showed more vibrancy in a speech to the Conservative Party of New York Monday night than he has in other recent outings. Maybe something about going on offense agrees with him.
And that is, I am the consistent conservative who for 8 years on the national scene fought for lower taxes, a balanced budget, welfare reform, and judges who would interpret the law and not make it up as they go on. I was a conservative yesterday, I'm a conservative today, and I will be a conservative tomorrow. My friends, I suggest that it's not time for philosophical flexibility in terms of our principles. That is a surefire way of making sure we don't win. The way we win, the way conservatives win in this country, is standing for strong principles and have them serve as a magnet for all kinds of people who vote for us who are not even necessarily traditionally philosophically aligned for us or from a party standpoint or any of the rest. We've done that in the past. We can do that again. We are better than what pandering politicians think that we would like to hear. And that's the Democratic Party's line that they're going to be putting out next year.
Many have interpreted these lines to be pointed barbs aimed at Rudy Giuliani and delivered on his home turf, no less. In an interview with Fox News yesterday, Thompson's criticism of Giuliani was more direct.
But what has he done or said that makes him more like a Democrat?
I don't think that the mayor has ever claimed to be a conservative. He sought and received the Liberal Party nomination. The Liberal Party put out a press release at the time, says he thinks that the way we do, listed a whole host of issues. He supported a liberal Democratic gubernatorial nominee,
Mario Cuomo.
And then when Pataki was elected, opposed Taki's tax cuts, his income tax cuts. So I don't know that he's ever claimed to be anything else. I think it's just a philosophical difference as to how best to win next November.
Thompson was introduced by former U.S. Senator from New York Alphonse D'Amato Monday night. D'Amato, a Thompson supporter, invoked Ronald Reagan in what's become a common tactic among those vying for the Republican nomination.
And it was the Conservative Party that led the way in New York for Ronald Reagan in 80 and in 84. The Conservative Party can do it again, and we can elect a great president like Fred Thompson. Thank you, Chairman, and thank you.
Out to establish his conservative credentials, Thompson led off by talking about how Barry Goldwater's iconic book, Conscience of a Conservative, changed his life.
I read Conscience of a Conservative. It changed my political life forever. I grew up in a little country town in Middle Tennessee. My daddy was a Democrat. Came in off the farm. My folks had an opportunity to get an 8th grade education. I had to go to work. Came in, lived the American dream. When I read that book, not only what he said, but the way he said it, and then I listened to Barry Goldwater and saw him speak the clear truth like a church bell out on a silent night, it rang true to this kid that not only was this something that we could believe in and rally around, but this was a spurt person. This was an adult politician who had the courage to speak the truth, and he laid the groundwork for everything else. And that's our common beginning.
When Thompson lobbed a little mud at his primary opponents, he reserved most of his scorn for the Democrats.
5% of the people in this nation pay over half the income tax. Let's move that up to maybe 60%. Let's move that. Let's let them pay 70%. We got the votes to do that. Most people are not being taxed in the income tax. If we just pull our troops home and bring them home, the world will move away from us. They'll leave us alone. That's the siren song, my friends, that will lead us down the path of a comfortable mediocrity that will leave this country less safe and less prosperous than the country we grew up in.
Thompson has been criticized for going AWOL since the Republican debate in Dearborn, Michigan last week. If he's been avoiding public events, maybe that's because he doesn't seem to like them. Thompson made a beeline for the exit as soon as his speech was over. His wife Jerry stuck around to chat with the notoriously loquacious D'Amato. The attendees seemed to enjoy the performance, and several afterwards said it had convinced them to support Thompson. Joe Lukey, a longtime Conservative Party member, said that's because Thompson is the right candidate to reunite the Reagan coalition.
What did you think of the speech? I thought it was powerful, and he was very Reagan-esque. And I think we were all impressed by it, because we've heard that, okay, he's giving sort of lukewarm speeches, but I got to tell you, I've listened to all the candidates, not all in person, but he's given the most powerful Reagan-esque speech that I've heard.
The Conservative Party of New York has long had strained relations with Rudy Giuliani over issues such as abortion and gun rights, so Thompson chose the right event at which to make his case. Nationwide, he'll have to convince Republicans that not only can he beat Hillary, but he can do so while keeping the conservative coalition intact. For NRO in New York, I'm Stephen Spruill.